Welcome back, gangsters.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hi, everyone.
We have a celebrity today.
We've got a celebrity. We've got a big get. A Bikey gang first.
A local
I'm
celebrity.
A celebrity guest.
She's a Reno local, which is the city that we're going to be talking about.
Nice.
And because despite the fact that it is also my hometown, she feels like I wouldn't do it justice. So she had to also help me out here.
I was like, you better let me take this out.
There you go. We have more ammo this time. So get ready.
So get ready.
So yeah, today we're doing Reno, Nevada.
That's right.
The biggest little city, although I don't think that's statistically correct anymore.
No, you take that back. Fire.
Our art says that. Oh, it's true.
Slander.
Two arches say it.
Two arches. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. The quick demographics for Reno is they have a population as of 2021 population of 268,851 people. They counted every person. 69%. Yeah, they're very thorough. 69% are white alone.
Hashtag nice.
Hashtag alone. 3.4% are black alone. 7% Asian. 23% Hispanic. It's a pretty sizable amount. 16% foreign born, and 36% have a bachelor's degree or higher. It's one of the lower.
So this is the dumbest city we've done so far.
I think last time we did Seattle, which had like over 50%, like almost like 70 or something.
Like it was huge number.
It was like insane amount. So yeah, kind of quite a difference here. 13% live in poverty, and this is never mind. The Seattle statistic that I forgot to do.
No, throw it in there.
Okay.
Look this up.
1 in 152 people in Seattle will be a victim of violent crime. just so you know, people who are looking to relocate to Reno, you should know.
That Seattle 1 in 152.
So yeah, quick Reno demographics here.
What was the Asian percentage again?
Like
Asian is 7%.
I was gonna say I was surprised by how high that number is.
By how high that is.
Yeah.
Are you surprised at the Hispanic being 23%? Hispanic isn't mixing. No. Yeah, I guess I didn't.
This used to be.
I was there.
Joseph.
Oh well, whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
But I was, I guess, for background, I wasn't. Obviously, I haven't been there as long as you guys, but I was there for I think like 3 days. And short amount of time, but I guess I don't recall seeing too many Hispanic people. Not that I was,
you're looking
out for them. Yeah.
Where are they?
There's one. Just point at them in public. Okay, that's one.
That's
2. So yeah, 13% in poverty. Not, I mean, not that that's
not the worst.
Not too bad. Not the worst. Yeah.
Not the worst.
Yeah, I actually thought that number seemed low.
Yeah, 13%. What would you have guessed it would have been from them?
Gosh, I don't know. I feel like I work in like the school district, and we have so many Title I schools. And to be a Title I school, you have to have a certain amount of your population like below the poverty line. And so I thought it would be higher, but I don't have a good guess.
Yeah.
You're also, Elmcrest is kind of in a poor pocket, isn't it?
The school is not, but we have spot zoning, so we bus our kids in from other pockets.
Nice.
Busing kids.
Yeah.
Dude, there was one thing that someone was telling me, that because they didn't want this particular zone to be in like Reno High or whatever, I don't even know, but they would like bus kids who were like clearly like in like the downtown area that like should have been zoned for Reno to like fucking North Valley
or Hug.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Which is
far.
Joseph
I'm assuming.
Joseph is very familiar with the high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm assuming that's far.
Yeah.
Honestly, school zoning very political. I won't get into it because I'm, employed by Washoe County School District, but there's
and they are watching.
They're watching closely. The majority of our audience are elected officials. Yeah.
Superintendent.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, she loves. Yeah. I was gonna say for a fun little thing about statistical. So our family moved here in 1997, and I looked at it. It was so. Let me look at my notes that do exist. So when our family moved here, the city population, and I also have metro because
nice. There's a difference.
So city population was 180K. The metro population was 296K. That was when we moved here. And now, right, today, it's the city population is like 276, and then the metro's 530. So
wow, 530.
No matter how you look at it, throughout our time here, the city has pretty much doubled in size.
And
all thanks to the urban family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're a big club.
I am known for, bragging about how good Reno is and trying to get people to move here. So I'll take some credit.
Nice. The local entrepreneur.
Yes. Is the city population just Reno, or does it count Sparks too?
So the city population is just Reno. The metro would count Sparks and like Fernie probably and all that stuff.
Does Joseph know about Sparks and Reno and how there's like a little bit of a clash?
I didn't know. I know that they kind of go hand in hand, but I didn't know that there was that there's friction there.
Oh, there's friction. Well, first of all, they're pretty much the same city. Like you can walk, like you have no idea you've transitioned from Reno to Sparks because they've blended so far together. But, and you can tell me if you agree with this, I feel like Reno people are like, oh, they have like a bad taste in their mouth about Sparks. And I think it goes vice versa. And like, I am also guilty of this. Like I am driving around Reno. I like know where to go. And then I enter Sparks and like my brain refuses to remember the roads, all this stuff. Wow. Like, I don't know, Sparks. It's not.
Oh, like almost like you did. It's like involuntary. Like you don't want.
I think for me, the big thing with Sparks is so like their big high school is Reed. I guess there is Sparks High too, but Reed looks like a jail, and I've taken multiple standardized tests like the SAT and stuff at Reed High School, and it literally looks like a jail. Jeez. And there's like barbed wire fence, and also I don't know. Sparks is weird because it's like you can be in like a really nice area in Sparks, and then all of a sudden you can be like in a terrible area in Sparks, and there's no.
Oh, it's San Antonio-esque.
Yeah, it's like San Antonio, kind of.
I feel like the same could be said about Reno, and like it's like silly that we feel this way because Sparks, like so much of like the very nice houses and stuff have been built there lately. They have like really good shopping developments and stuff, but in my mind,
is it like the section of the Reno area that's expanding more recently?
I mean,
or
I think
still
we're
Reno?
in every direction, but there has been so much building and stuff in Sparks, and they have these like really elaborate neighborhoods with super nice houses and walking trails, and like they're doing a good job. But in my brain, I just can't.
Is it Eric? Is it kind of like Eugene, Springfield? Is it like kind of like that, or worse, or better?
Well, it's different in the sense that so there's a clearly different mindset, right, between Eugene and Springfield.
Yeah,
there's not really a clear different mindset in terms of like a political mindset between Reno and Sparks.
Right.
And yeah, to me, if someone's like,
Okay.
"Oh, I'm from Sparks," I'm like, "Okay, you're from Reno." You know, it's
I don't even think
Okay.
people from Sparks say they're from Sparks. I'm
probably
sure
not.
they say
They
they're
just say
from
I'm from
Reno.
Reno.
From Reno.
Well,
Interesting.
even like Rachel. Rachel's from Dayton and would say she's from Reno.
Okay, that
How
doesn't.
how far is that from Reno?
Uh, 30 minutes,
Oh,
something like that. It's closer. It's closer to Carson
close.
City, which I know you're very intimately
Yeah,
familiar with
of course. Yeah.
Nevada geography.
Well, I have some notes on Carson City. I think
Oh wow!
some of your
Why?
transportation. I
Oh,
think some of the shuttles go to Carson City. I can't remember.
okay. That makes sense.
It is our capital.
It is our
Yeah.
capital, and I'm sure there's a lot of like ski like shuttle things from Reno that go to Carson.
Why would
Yeah,
you
I think that's what it was.
Well, technically, part of Tahoe is in Carson City.
Okay,
Tahoe.
I believe you.
Such a fun name. Um, what do you guys think? Huh? Yeah, Tahoe. Okay. What do you guys? Because I was curious about the You said your family moved there in like the 1930s. Is that what you said?
Very.
My 1997 is when our family moved to Reno.
Okay, not close. What about the? I was
Tell me
thinking
about the Dust Bowl.
What do you see as the since 16% are foreign born, and that could be obviously anywhere. Um, the majority of the white population, what would you say their background is? If you know, I know I forget you guys came from North Dakota or South
Yeah,
Dakota?
North.
Dakota.
Yeah.
Okay.
The better.
So I guess it would be the better one.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
do North Dakota. Imagine doing an episode on North Dakota.
Oh, I would join for that one too.
Uh-huh.
Actually,
Sure.
you'd probably have to have our father on.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable about the entire state. So
Yeah.
Wow. The
um,
Dakota.
You like don't do a city in North Dakota, you just do the whole state.
Right, the whole
it's the
state.
same population. It's like just
It's
one
true.
city.
Yeah.
It's
I think,
pretty much
I
this.
think grandma told me the statistic actually that the city of Sacramento has more people than the state of North Dakota.
Oh my god,
I believe
that's
it.
crazy, man. Yeah, that's amazing. That's a plus for Sacramento and a minus for North Dakota at the same time.
So Gil, if there's one thing you should know about Reno, it's that Sacramento has a larger population than North Dakota, and that you're 1 in 152% likely to get into a violent crime in Seattle, Washington. Those are the two main takeaways of Reno, Nevada.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. We hope you come out of this full of knowledge about Reno. um, and move on to the cost of living, which I'm really excited about this because I had this I had this website. I heard about this website, and I used it once, like a few years ago, but I just thought it was such a cool idea. Um, but it's called, pretty obvious name, livingcost.org. Um, I get pretty like I automatically like things with a .org. Obviously more.
Feels more official, sure.
Yeah, flatearth.org.
My
But the
favorite.
cost of yeah, but it's as the name suggests, it's really good for figuring out, like, breaking down the cost of living in specific U.S. cities. But it also has the national average, and all of this is monthly. So uh, I know we did it a few episodes ago. We've done it for a few episodes where I bring in, the average cost for a dozen eggs, etc. But I think I have it a little less messy, a little more organized this time. So the national cost of living is monthly is $2,112 a month. So the average monthly cost of living for a single person in Reno is $1,904 a month, which is 1% lower than the national average. The median value of housing is $391,500. Pretty cray. Median rent is $1,213. Median household income is $67,557. The average monthly grocery bill is 2% higher than the national average.
What?
And I know you guys are getting scared.
Calm down.
Well, I think in Seattle it was like 10% or something ridiculous.
Eggs were what, like $400?
A dozen eggs in Reno on average, you'll be paying $2.79. Bread per pound is $2.80.
Bread
Chicken
per
breast,
pound, which is how I use my bread.
I thought that was weird. You go to the bread guy and just
bread, please.
weigh me a bread.
Yeah, like you go to a butcher. Yeah, I'll take a pound of bread for this. Slice thin.
They have these huge baguettes in the slicer.
Yeah, like in the window, in the enclosed window, they just have like the loaves, like these giant fucking loaves, just like the different chicken cuts. Right next to the chicken too. Yeah,
exactly.
Chicken breast per pound is $6.50. To me, that seems a bit really expensive, actually.
Yeah.
And pub beer, or not specifically the pub beer, but a beer at a pub is on average $5.29, which also seems a bit high.
Seems cheap.
Yeah, that seems super low, especially compared to Boston.
True.
You have to think of all the people that are ordering like Pabst.
Sure.
Because
that's what
they're gonna order 20 of them, so you got to go with the cheap ones.
Well, also, I was gonna say the casinos. I know a casino technically is a pub, but Steve and I were at Cal Neva.
The Neve.
Yeah, disgusting.
Known for its cheap drinks, though. 5 kamikaze shots for $5.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Christ.
5. We got 5 Cactus Jack, the Travis Scott like seltzers for $5.
That's insane.
The strawberry one, pretty good. Lime, tastes like ass. So
okay, it's really flavor oriented.
Travis Scott, who is sponsoring this episode. Thank you to Travis Scott.
All right, I'm out.
It's lit. It's lit.
It is lit, but don't do the lime.
That's crazy though. 5 seltzers and they're hard seltzers, right? They're like 8%.
Yeah. The Cactus Jack ones are like 8% or whatever. Cactus.
Steve must have had quite a good time.
Steve was having a great time.
Because Steve tried to haggle his way down to $4.
Well, what? I don't even like the lime ones. So how about I only pay 50 cents for the lime ones?
Yeah, level with me here. But how does, as natives and former natives, how does that cost of living sound? Does that seem like, would you have guessed that to be the right, especially for the rents, the median rent?
Yeah.
For a
You're the only one here who's paid rent in Reno, so.
Yeah, it sounded pretty accurate to me. So let's see here. 3 years ago, we had a 1-bedroom apartment in like a pretty good part of town, close to downtown, and that was $1,200.
There you go.
And then we just bought a house, and our house is like a 4-bedroom house, and we bought it for $420 or $420. Can you believe?
Go to Reno, Nevada right now.
Yeah,
dirt cheap. Damn, those stats are like almost spot on to your experience.
Yeah, well, we bought our house like right in 2020, so housing prices were just starting to like rise up, and
How much was your Taylor Street house?
Oh yeah, so I lived in Midtown for a little bit, and Midtown, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but it's like very up and coming, lots of like hip bars and restaurants and stuff, but it's like one of those things that's like, oh, here's the super schwanky cocktail bar right next to this motel that people are living in and throwing mattresses over the side rails
Oh,
and getting in messy arguments and stuff. But so let's see here. Gosh, it's been a while
sounds
since
like
I lived
Virginia.
there, but I want to say it was about 1,200 too, because I think I paid
Oh.
600 to live there.
Hmm.
And that
Okay.
place was very small. I guess not smaller than our apartment though.
No. I mean, we might as well just dive into Midtown since
Sure, yeah.
our guest
what is it?
graciously gave us a segue.
Nice.
So Midtown is an area of Reno. It's not downtown. It's Midtown.
It's
It's
very
Midtown.
close to downtown.
Yeah, it's
It's not
basically
uptown.
they got the name not because it's mid, but because they're being very self-reflective. It's like, I mean,
It's
mid.
how's the town? Oh, it's a mid.
It's mid. It's not terrible, but there's definitely better towns.
It's okay.
So Midtown used to be just like a bunch of like empty lots and stuff. It's kind of like your stereotypical development of like, let's take a shitty part of town and try to make it fun and fancy.
Nice.
Because when we were kids, it was like a gross part of town.
Yeah.
South Virginia was like a gross methy part of town, and there are still pockets of gross meth.
I mean,
Did you say
pockets of
South
good clean meth.
There's gotta be both,
Yeah,
and now
Those
it's
are
all
my favorite pockets.
yeah.
It's all one.
It's all-
Did you say South Virginia? Is that what you referred to it by?
That's the name of
So
the
weird.
street. The main arterial street is
Okay.
Virginia.
Oh,
Street.
Virginia. Okay. Yeah, I got
Virginia Street.
Well, yeah, but
And there's a north and a south.
But Midtown is specifically on the south side.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I feel like it might be mid Virginia.
I thought you said west.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Where are you? What's your address? Oh, yeah, I'm on 395 Mid Virginia Street.
Well, exactly how far Virginia Street goes. South, it goes all the way to the end of town.
Yeah.
And then North Virginia Street goes like up
Past,
north.
Yeah. What? we do believe in compasses in Reno. We do follow the four major.
Well, that's your mistake.
That's your mistake. We're not on that new wave yet.
Five cardinal directions.
So, to give you an idea about Midtown, so they have like all of the houses around there are pretty old. But people are flipping them and making
like
them
nice old
trendy.
Physically flipping them.
Yeah. Like
okay, good.
Under and just whoa.
My favorite thing to do. Yeah.
But the year after we bought our house, which is like close-ish to downtown in like a little pocket neighborhood, one of my friends bought a house in Midtown, and it's just a 2-bedroom, pretty small. I don't know the square feet, but
how could you?
No, but like 2 bedrooms, small kitchen, small backyard, and she paid $600,000 for it.
Good Lord.
So about a year after we paid $420, she paid $600 for a very small midtown house.
Seems like hype culture is permeating the housing industry too. For fuck's sake.
Every house
it has a fucking Supreme logo on it.
She did paint that on there. Well, she bought it already painted on there.
Okay. Well, at least there's that.
Yeah.
You get some street cred with the house.
She's also,
with the 12-year-olds.
Twitter was doing the like verified checks on houses. She also has one of those.
Are you serious? Oh.
Yeah, if you were like the verified like account on Twitter in San Francisco, you could get like a plaque for your house.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So extra. That's crazy.
Everyone in Reno, though, will say, like, the reason that our housing prices are going up, it's not our fault. It's not the national average. It's those darn Californians.
Right. It seems like
Franciscans.
Yeah, like
San Franciscans.
Get out of Nevada.
Curse you, Steve.
San Francisco, the platypus.
The platypus.
Oh, I think it's funny that the whole I don't know if we mentioned it in any of our other podcast. Although I don't think we've had any other state. Maybe I guess San Antonio, where a lot of Californians are stereotypically moving. But that seems to be the main thing where, especially like the Northeast and the Northwest
Northwest,
and then Texas,
like all
and
pretty
Florida
much
too.
the entire western half, this side of the Mississippi, California is running.
Just fly. It's about being on the other side. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, Reno's
is
only
strange.
like 20 minutes from the state line, so it's like an easy hop over.
Yeah,
It does make sense. Yeah, you guys are close. So, do a lot of people from Reno cheer for your SAC, right?
Yeah,
SAC State or
SAC
State, just Sacramento.
Oh, the Sacramento Kings. You've been to a Kings?
Yeah, the Kings.
It was so much fun. I loved it. I love
Well,
live
there you go.
sports. I don't watch other sports though. Or I'm there for snacks.
It's a hierarchy.
I was talking about this in I think the Seattle one, but I really enjoy going to baseball games. Not necessarily watching baseball, like I'll do it sometimes, but I really like going just to the baseball stadiums. And right, snacks are a big part of that. You walk around, see what kind of food the baseball stadiums have. And also
there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
It's
well,
the vibes.
Joseph's all about those glizzies, man.
That's right.
But it's a summer day, you're out. I mean, most of them are like open air stadiums. You're just outside chilling in the sun on a summer day. How can you complain?
Should we talk about the Reno Aces?
Ooh.
Reno has a great baseball team. It's a AAA.
It is AAA.
It feeds into the Arizona,
the Diamondbacks.
The Diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's a good quality baseball, and you if you get like the cheap tickets, it's $10 a ticket. That's a steal.
Wow, that's a good thing. That's noteworthy for arts and culture here.
Yeah,
I love that. I'm gonna leave that section for you guys.
Obviously, we're the artsy type over here.
That's right. The cultured Renoans. What do you call yourselves? Renoans? Renoans? Renoites?
Really?
I don't know. That's what Wikipedia
I don't know.
call myself.
That's what I call myself.
I've never heard that. I feel like people would say like, "Oh, are you a Reno native?"
Yeah, native. That is a big word here. Are you local, native or local?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of the place where it's like, oh, how many generations has your family been here?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And for you guys, it's one.
If you're from California, you get shit. Like my husband is a transplant from California, and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm from Northern California," and they're like, "Oh," and it's like,
"Oh,
no.
We have to go now."
Yeah,
we have to go watch the news.
We have to go watch the news.
I have a reservation at Chili's.
Yeah.
Applebee's.
I'm Applebee's. The love of my life. I'm Applebee's.
Shout out to Applebee's, our latest sponsor.
Yeah.
$2 shots or whatever, mixed drinks. Yeah.
I actually funny you mentioned this. I had it, and this was a friend I had in Reno. He was like, "Let's stop at an Applebee's because they have $2 drinks," and that was the only reason he wanted to go to Applebee's. So we went to an Applebee's just to get
drunk there.
Might as well go to the Neva.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
$1. Mm-hmm. Tom Cactus Jack sent you.
Like, deal with the Neva crowd with his Moist sketch.
Yeah, well,
what crowd?
So the Cal Neva, specifically the Cal Neva, is kind of like the sketchiest casino. All casino crowds are kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
But the Cal Neva crowd. So when I was there with Steve, I feel like this is a good story to sort of personify the Cal Neva crowd.
You got scammed by an old lady at a slot machine.
Yeah, dude, she tricked me out of $1,000.
How did I know?
She may have been 80 years old, but goddamn, she was quick as a whip.
She was so as a whip, huh? And those whips are quick.
Those whips are quick. She actually had a whip, and she like Indiana Jones my walk. I was like,
I
wow.
could see it. I could picture it. Yeah. So
Like,
watch out for this
thank you,
crowd.
Sonny. And I'm like, all right. Like grandma
Okay.
gamble away my money.
Yeah. Just for meth. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were the casino crowd is kind of a tweaker crowd.
I'd say all downtown has you got to deal with the tweakers if you're trying to party.
Yeah.
Okay. They're part of the party.
Dude, I was at the El Dorado at 2 a.m. Don't ask me why.
Partying.
Seriously, don't ask me why.
Don't look it up.
Crowd.
You will find a mugshot.
Yeah,
I'm looking up El Dorado.
Take my word.
It's a casino, right?
Yeah, the El Dorado is part of the Row, which is the
oh yeah, I remember.
Casinos downtown.
Quick side note, I have here that Reno has 20 different casinos, which is pretty crazy for a well, I guess it makes sense actually.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of casinos. You want to hear the most Reno story ever?
Let's hear it.
Right in the middle of a different story?
Yes.
Oh, but we're switching.
Oh, I thought that was the story. Okay.
Well, I was there at 2 a.m. This girl who's not from Reno is like, "Oh my God, there's like a lot of tweakers here." And I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to Reno." Anyway, that's the end of that story.
Wow.
So this other story, I feel like another story that personifies. It's just me as a Renoite. I was just a fun little fact about me. My first kiss was at a casino. So.
Oh wow. Yeah. Was it with that little? Was it in the middle of a hot gambling streak? You know,
you cut out a little bit. Middle of the what?
Crap. Was it in the middle of a gambling streak? Were you winning? Can you hear me?
Yeah, dude. I was hitting, dude. I was at the blackjack table, and I just had to.
It was the 80-year-old woman he was talking about with Steve. The first kiss.
Oh God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was Steve dressed up as an old lady. That was your first kiss.
Yeah.
Aww.
We used to. God, I'm bouncing all over from story to story, but me and Steve actually did used to tell people that we were a gay couple and that we won prom kings together.
Prom kings. And that's so wholesome.
This is when we had known each other for like 2 or 3 weeks, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, like I believe that like, you guys have such great chemistry. Like, how long have you been dating?" It's like, I've known this dude for 2 weeks.
We were prom kings together.
And then
so savvy story.
But Steve, didn't you say you were from the Bay Area? And he's like, "Well, senior year, my family moved, but then." Eric still invited me for senior prom in Reno, so I went back to Reno as a couple, and we won prom kings. We were like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
He was the one that got away for a while.
He was my great white buffalo. And kiss at a casino.
That's right.
You know,
you guys fall in love.
I feel like the casinos bring in the tweakers, but there's like a lot of good things about having the casinos in Reno because it brings we have like good comedians that come and perform, sometimes good concerts, not great, and then there's always something to do. Like it can be Tuesday at 2 a.m. and if I want to go out dancing, I can.
That's true.
Nice. Tuesday at 2 a.m. Wow.
So
that's actually a huge perk.
So yeah.
We don't close.
Yeah. So like I said, I was at the El Dorado at 2 a.m.
Right at 2 a.m. Yeah.
The people I was with were getting food. I had already eaten dinner, so I didn't eat. But they were getting food, so you can get food at 2 a.m. You can get drinks at 2 a.m.
I thought second dinner was your guys' thing.
Yeah,
not.
I could eat.
I could eat. I just didn't feel like spending money.
That's our other biggest thing.
But it costs money.
Eric has been that way since elementary school. Like he would have friends like, "Let's go to the coffee shop," and he'd be like, "Okay," and then he'd go and they'd be like, "What are you gonna get?" He's like, "Nothing. I don't want to spend any money," and they would just buy him his coffee.
Yeah,
nice. Scamming in elementary.
You see, that's not my goal. My goal is never to take anything from anybody. But
people just feel sorry.
there becomes a point where you become so pathetic that people are like, no, man, please, let me give this for you.
One time,
That's a perfect threshold.
Oh, okay. Well, this
Okay.
isn't a fair story, but I'll let you tell it.
One time we went camping. We invited
Camping.
Eric, yes, pretty last minute to this camping.
Like an hour or two before.
That is
Wow.
not true.
That is true.
It was the morning before. And he showed up no tent, no sleeping bag, a light sweater. He was instructed to bring his own food. He brought a loaf of Wonder Bread and some Easter.
bread by the pound.
So we, of course, fed him, clothed him, gave him a place to sleep, gave him
I love Wonder Bread. You're just like eating.
beer. We were there for.
I did show up with a 6-pack of beer.
We were there for 3 days, so obviously
I ran out of beer.
don't worry, we had him covered.
All right.
Just imagine you just eating loaves, just like slices at a time of bread.
All right. So now it's my turn to
breakfast,
tell
lunch, and
my
dinner.
side that justifies everything that happened. So I'm doing something with Dad. We're at the dump. We're at the city dump, like dumping a bunch of I think furniture from your old place or something like that. So I'm helping Dad dump.
Okay, yes, you should. As a good son, you're a good son.
So Carly, my good friend, and so her best friend's younger sister, who's my age, so we became good friends.
Forced.
Yeah, and basically the chain of command is Amy and Kelsey do something. They don't tell me, but they tell Carly, and then Carly tells me. So Carly texts me. He's like, "Are you going to the 4th of July camping trip?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, if you need a ride, I'm leaving in a couple of hours." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that'll be fun. I'm just at the dump with my dad. Let me just get back as soon as I can, and then I have to, pack up." So yeah, no, I didn't bring a tent because the tent was already accounted for. I would sleep in someone's tent. Not everybody needs a tent, okay?
Yeah, come on.
You can share tents.
The king and queen over here.
I did not bring a sleeping bag, which was a lack of foresight on my end. But I also had like 20 minutes to pack.
But you made sure to bring a loaf of Wonder Bread.
No. Okay, so I had no food. I had no food. But the people that I was going up with is like, oh, we're gonna get food on our way up. Yeah. So I was like, oh, perfect, because I don't have food. So I'll be a part of this. We'll get food on the way up, thing. And then this person's idea of we're getting food for the trip was she brought me to a 7-Eleven and was like, okay, let's get food for the trip. I'm like, what?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
So I was forced into, okay, well, I guess bread, jerky, and then, you need that golden oat soda.
Golden oat, yeah.
Can I tell one more quick anecdote about Eric being ill prepared?
I just like the fact that someone calls you and you answer, yeah, I'm at the dump with my dad.
Because he's a loving son.
Because I'm a loving son.
It sounds like a great thing, a good bonding experience. But to tell someone over the phone, hey, where you at?
Yeah, I'm at the dump with my dad.
What are you doing? I'm just fucking around,
Just fucking around.
Just looking for some spare, toilet covers or something.
Yeah, we're looking for combo.
We're shopping at the dump.
Hey man, the money savers extraordinary. Yeah. This has been money wise.
I mean, it all comes down to our father, the ultimate money wise money saver.
Okay, this anecdote will bring it back to Reno too, because there's this Reno tradition. It's the Truckee River flow.
Oh my God, fuck.
The dump.
It happens in the summer. Pretty much, you have to do it at the right time, because if you do it in the springtime, the water's too high and it can actually be pretty dangerous. And if you wait too late in the summer, the water's really low and you end up dragging your ass the entire time down the river. So it has to be like in that perfect time. But the 4th of July happens to be a time that a bunch of people float the river. And all throughout the season, it's just like you bring a bag of wine, you have an inner tube, you get trashed on the river. People die every year from like drowning. They're so trashed. It's like, it's,
Nice.
it's a party. And then you end up getting out of the river downtown, and you either kind of carpool back or you just stay downtown in your bathing suit, soaking wet, and you continue the party and you drink. So it's a big
Nice.
thing. It's a Reno thing. We do
On
it
the
every
4th of
year.
July specifically.
Yeah,
It's like the best time to do it.
If you want to be a part of the craziness, you do it on 4th of July. You don't, then you
Do
do
people?
it.
Do people do it other days of the year too, though?
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
entire
Pretty
from
much
like
all
June,
summer,
June and July.
Oh,
I would say are like the big
damn.
things, and it's really fun. It's a good time, but
That does sound fun.
get a rock up your butt and bruise your tailbone every time you go.
That's part of the fun.
I didn't
That's
even
I was
know,
gonna say that's only.
but Eric,
I
my
love
friend,
I love
invited.
putting rocks up my butt.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to do it.
That's a Friday night right there.
That's
What
a
are you saying?
Friday night.
But Eric went on a river flow, and like there's rocks, and like you have to have a good tube. I know I've
Yeah.
established this. Eric came with a child's inner tube, no bigger than his. My friends had to literally like link his arms
It was
on both
quite,
sides
yeah.
and carry him.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was I was yeah.
He
Why-
almost died.
That's not true.
He was almost the person that died.
That's
that year.
not true. Dude, but it was such a great ab workout because there was no support. This thing was also I'm pretty sure it had a hole in it too. There was like no support from this tube. And I just had to like hold hands with whoever the two closest people were by me. And I had to like support myself with my core strength. And because like there are a lot of rocks. Like the river is not
Right.
that deep most of the time. So
And
So
if
I
it
Could you
is
have been standing?
fast.
yeah. So basically I'm just for like 3 hours, I'm just lifting myself up with my core strength. And God, I was so tired after that.
You're so ripped after that experience.
That's my summer workout plan.
Could
But
you
also,
have been standing on the?
In my defense, I was the second least prepared person for that trip. There was somebody who like brought like an actual
Actual noodle,
tiny thing that like didn't work at
just
all.
the spaghetti noodle. Oh, what?
Yeah. Spaghetti noodle or something like a pool floaty.
No, an actual.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Imagine you just going into the pool and you have one of those like a purple dinosaur, like ring, like it just doesn't hold your weight, just immediately sinks down. Like a donut. Here, let's we should talk about the the transportation real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other
It
than
is- It is
pool
not
floaties. Yeah.
it
not
is-
good.
Not good. I kind of got that
This album?
impression.
It's not good.
It's not. Give it a light to decent 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, just by looking for it, looking for the information, I could tell that it wasn't a very devoted, um, public transit community, I guess, because I couldn't find even on like the government website, there really wasn't like a lot of devotion to information on it to
The less
transit
you know
the
about, the
routes.
less you know about it, the better.
Yeah, it seemed like it because also a lot of the websites that I got this information from, like which seem to be like also the main websites, look super sketchy. Like they have like those clickbait ads and stuff like at the bottom of the
Hell
website.
Yeah. What? Mature women looking for me in my area?
In my area. I gotta find them. They're looking for.
Where are you?
But yeah, what I got here, and you guys could elaborate on the negative aspect of it. Negative Nancy's over here. But the public bus system, main one, operated by RTC, or Regional Transportation Commission of Washoe County.
I
Um,
was gonna say they
are-
don't even say what region; they just say it's regional.
yeah, I know. It seems like, I mean, the abbreviation, it's kind of silly, right? It's not very specific.
Yeah, regional
Um,
transportation.
it's regional. RTC ride service um, is for the greater Reno Sparks community. Single, see, I included Sparks as well.
Nice.
Single ride, $2 day pass, $3 for the week pass.
Wow.
Or sorry, single ride is $2. The day pass is $3.
Yeah.
The week pass is $14.50. Sorry for that. And the monthly pass is $65, which is a pretty great deal. Before I move on to the next section of the transportation, what do you guys have to say about RTC rides specifically?
That is not a great deal because the bus system sucks.
I know they had, so like in high school, like I knew they
Shots
had
fired.
stops. Like I would see bus stops. I don't think I ever actually saw a bus until after high school.
I gotta say, while I was there, I didn't see too many buses either. Just 3 days. I didn't see any bus stops.
I know that they're trying to like, or throughout the past 5 or so years, they've been trying to like build up the South Virginia corridor, and like I know they'll have like buses. I'll see buses sometimes there, but yeah, like when I was growing up, I think the first time I saw a public bus was in Eugene, Oregon.
Damn, they really got to lay up on that one.
Actually, they do have frequent stops, like from the university area to like, down Virginia Street to downtown, because they
I'm gonna
want
say, yeah, there is I guess a more notable one. I have here the Rapid Virginia line, I guess is its name. Is an express bus service along Virginia Street between UNR campus and Meadowwood Mall. I'm guessing that's the main mall for this Reno Sparks area, or no? No, not even the main mall.
It's one. There's a lot of malls here.
I think it'd be funny to just like have the end destination be like a completely like obscure thing that no one ever goes to.
the Taco Bell on South Virginia.
Hey, that's a good Taco Bell.
Want to hear that slander? Another sponsor of ours. What about RTC ride is bad? I'm assuming the time in between stops is not very frequent.
I wouldn't be able to even tell you. Like I said, I've never ridden a Reno public bus.
Me neither.
Not enticing.
But I was just talking about this with one of my friends' cousins who actually lived with her in Reno for a little bit, and she lived in Midtown area, and then she was going to school at the community college, which is kind of far away from downtown, Truckee Meadows Community College, and it took her, so it's probably a 20-minute drive if you're driving, 15 to 20, and it took her an hour and a half to get to school every day, which I feel like is a long time. And she had to like switch buses. That was really sketchy.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
That's terrible. It's like
I'd say that the buses are worse than the San Antonio buses, and the San Antonio buses were
goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're also ass.
Being a school that is low income and spot zoned, our families don't live like walking distance to our school. And a lot of them don't have cars, or their cars are compromised or broke down. And sometimes like we'll be like, your kid is throwing up, like please come get them. And they're like, great, I'll be there in 2 hours because the bus doesn't come until this time and I've got to switch here. And so it's like, it's a problem.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they have very good they haven't figured out their lines yet.
You definitely you need a car. You need a car here.
Oh yeah.
Bike transportation or like bike infrastructure is next to non-existent as well. Oh,
yeah, I saw that.
Please, by all means, undercut my point. No.
I mean, adding in bike lanes and stuff.
Yeah,
so there's a bunch of bike lanes in the streets They've been working on that the last like 4 years.
They do have
That's
bike
good.
lanes, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I do have here that they used to have a bike share. Lime bikes were
Lions.
available as a
We
bike share
kept
program.
we kept throwing them in the river, so they stopped. It was like a trial
I
run.
remember.
It was like a trial run, and like during the trial run, everyone would like leave them. They'd like, so there's this bridge downtown, this like suspension bridge. People like put them up in like the suspension area. They would like throw them in the river, and it got to a point where it's like, okay, well, we're done. We're out of here.
Yeah. You scared away the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Who were these?
birds again. We have birds now.
Birds aren't real.
Okay, because that's true.
Not
Birdsaren'treal.org. Check it out. I have here that they have, which is funny because I just found out that they're like the two, like their major competitors. But Lime, which is the bikes that you guys had, apparently until April of last year, when the city council voted to end the agreement, if there was any to begin with. You guys also have Bird scooters, electric scooters, and the two of those are like the main competitors. And it seems like you guys still have the scooters, so that's good. You're not throwing those in the river yet.
Oh, we are.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Downtown, there's a bird in the river.
Oh, so Bird is more tolerant of our shenanigans, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. The Bird scooters are 15 cents per minute. What about my 15 cents?
What about my 15 cents?
15 cents. And then plus there's an unlocking fee, but I couldn't find the unlocking fee for Reno. It seems though that most cities have it as under $1. I think Portland has them for 80 cents. It's probably the same. But yeah, that's well. First of all, why were people throwing the bikes in the river to begin? I mean, with
because why not?
So often.
Why not?
I think it's like the drunk rowdy crowd, because what happens is there's
the
a bunch of bars. Yeah, well, not even. I would say like the drunk young people, because there's a bunch of bars and restaurants in downtown Reno, and like bar hopping is like a big thing around here. So you just bar hop from bar to bar to bar. And then, you see a bird scooter next to the river and you're like, it sounds fun? Putting a bird scooter in the river.
Yeah.
That does sound like one.
Especially so the river walk. Not quite as good as the San Antonio River Walk, but our river walk is cool. It's nice. But there are a lot of bars there. And there's a river there. So it's just natural math.
2 and 2 together. Yeah.
Reno has a really big drinking culture. And I'm sure that's kind of every large city, especially a college town. But like you can go in the middle of the day on a Sunday and just get trashed, and it's just normal to see like a group of trashed young people hopping from bar to bar. They have monthly wine walks where you go around to each of the bars and you get wine. And they, of course, have like shot specials and stuff like that. We have like an almost monthly crawl. Like some of them are big, like the Santa crawls and the zombie crawls. But there's like weird ones too, like superhero crawl, pirate crawl, pajama crawl. So there's like a crawl every month. Where you just go to participating bars.
People crawling around Reno.
Yeah. You want to go into some of the big bars in town, the mainstays?
Yeah. Well, I mean, 10 years ago, I would have been able to tell you a drink special, a place to go every night of the week, but I've slowed down a little bit. But like,
no more dog days.
If you want to go like clubbing, the casinos all have like clubs and bars, and that's like a more, like you're gonna get out of towners and like the big nightclubs and stuff. You can like dress up, and like sometimes we have like random people perform, like Too Short and
a lot of Bay Area people.
Makes sense.
I'd say that Reno, isn't a part of the Bay Area, but because it's like the closest like cultural center to us. We have like the same sort of like hyphy music was big here too.
Okay. Shared culture.
That kind of we share the Bay Area culture here.
You say Reno is honorary Bay Area member.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the casinos always have like drink specials and stuff to draw you out, like Babinga, which is a nightclub that doesn't exist anymore, RIP. It had Sky High Fridays, which was all you can drink Sky vodka drinks for $10 all night long.
Shit.
So
holy shit, how's that legal? God damn.
It's just everyone's blacked out by the end. It's crazy.
So basically, casinos are the best place to go to get cheap drinks because they want you to be as incoherent and incoherent as possible. Because they're like, oh, are you super drunk? Look where you are. Look at all these fun flashing lights. Do you want to gamble?
Mm-hmm. And you get free drinks while you're gambling. That's something that I used to do in my broke college days. You bring like $2 and you get like pennies and you work the penny slots and you stay there long enough and a cocktail waitress will come up and be like, what can I get you? And it's free.
Oh my God. That's crazy. That's insane. But this must be like the best deal I've ever heard of.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, they like for people who aren't spending money too. You have to be convincing, you know?
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then Reno also has like a bunch of bars around downtown that have like, there's like specialty whiskey distillery bars and cocktail places and beer places and all of that kind of stuff. And then as you like go to Midtown and stuff, I think it gets more like hipstery, for lack of a better.
Do you guys? I'd say I mean I know the obvious one is the Sierra Nevada brewery, but do you guys have a lot of local breweries?
Yeah, we do. There are a lot of local ones like
Sierra Nevada is actually Chico, but we have like a tap house.
We do have a tap house there, yeah. What's the one right off the river?
There's like Brewer's Cabinet.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of? The one that's in Sparks and Reno. And I always get it confused with Brewer's Cabinet.
I don't know. There's one with like a number, 13 barrels or something?
Yeah, there's like 10 Tor.
10 Tor. That's
that
the
what
one.
You're thinking
of? 10 Tor.
I'm big.
So like when you say beer culture, it's not just like, you know, a Miller Lite at a local, you know, dive bar.
No,
it's like
a higher IPAs are big here.
Okay.
They're kind of, I actually have in my notes where we're stealing Portland.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We have like a little Portland section of town that has like a sizzle pie, a Pine State biscuits.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow, that's crazy.
A Patagonia.
Damn. Yeah.
I went to Pine State in
coffee.
I've never heard of Cece's Coffee.
It's a Portland-based coffee shop. Maybe you've heard of
Oh,
Portland.
I have a friend that works there actually. Cece's Coffee.
In Portland?
In Portland, yeah.
Transfer to Reno.
I was thinking, since you guys are talking bars, I only have like a few things to add to this, but favorite spots and experiences. I guess we already dealt with the experiences earlier, but I just want to shout out I'm gonna need some help with the names here, but favorite spots in Reno, the record store that we went to, Eric, probably the best record store. Recycle Records.
Their theme song is Recycled Records. It doesn't suck. Thank you very much.
It doesn't suck.
That is the.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they on like, you know, radio and like local TV channels and stuff?
Yeah. So like when we were kids, they would have like commercials and like that was their jingle.
Damn. Okay. So pretty well known in Reno. A Reno institution.
A Reno institution. Yeah.
The only other place I've got here is, again, I need help with the name, the underground bar / dining area.
Basement. I had a feeling you'd bring up the basement. It's also my notes that I just wrote to impress my sister.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. but um there's multiple different places for dining and whatnot in there, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys
So
just
it's like
want to
a bunch
elaborate
of
on that?
different. It's like a bunch of different companies and different sort of things.
They have like a barber shop, a plant store, like a boutique, several eateries, a
Nice.
speakeasy style bar.
I like
Yeah,
that shit. And it's close to it's close by the river if I remember correctly,
close to the
right?
river. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a downtown sort of thing.
Yeah, it's almost right in between downtown where it's like transitioning to midtown.
Yeah.
So, real quick, since we have uh, a local Renoite or Reno, whatever, what are your, well, I guess we have two technically, but what are your takeaways from Reno as, what's the overall, and maybe some insight into, if you want to move to Reno, what, some things to take into consideration that you might like, you might not like.
So I'm going to bring it back to my second date with my now husband. He's like, so what? I was like, I love Reno. I love living here. He's like, well, what do you like about it? I was like, oh my gosh.
Where is he from?
He is from Northern California, a small town called Kelseyville. It's in Lake County. It's not well known. But I was like,
California.
oh, it's so close to Tahoe. There's so much camping around. You can like go out into the desert and it's close. You can do hiking and all of this stuff. And he's like, so the best part of Reno is it's close to other things. And I was like, well, yeah. But it really is true because like you live in Reno, you have access to the mountains for skiing. You have access to Lake Tahoe, which is like one of the most beautiful places in America, in my opinion. You can like go out into the desert and get your like like with
Off-roading.
like off-roading stuff, and people have like BMX bikes, and there's like all of that thing. You can go camping. There's like a million places to camp. There's hot springs, like that. And I think it's like the luxury of having like a city where you can have casinos and restaurants and all of those, but also like get out of the city and do like outdoorsy stuff. That's my favorite part about Reno.
It is definitely the most outdoorsy city that we've done so far. And I mean, it's tucked into the mountains. And it's it's beautiful. It's like a very beautiful area, like nature speaking wise. And we are kind of spoiled by like all the things that are around us. And I tell people all the time, because I mean, at this point I've been all over the country, and I'm like, I still haven't found a place that's more beautiful than Lake Tahoe. It's an amazing place.
And for just for context, how far of a drive is Lake Tahoe from?
If you go to north, you could be there in like 30 minutes.
Okay, that's if you're driving very fast. I'd say 45 minutes.
Okay, well, it's an easy day trip.
It's an easy day trip, yeah.
Easy day trip, yeah.
Yeah, we day trip there all the time.
And then maybe real quick, the your least favorite from living here, least favorite thing about Reno, if there is one, statistics in mind.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. No, I think well, we talked about this a little bit before we even started, but I feel like our homeless population has grown significantly in the past 5 years.
And sorry to cut you off, but there is an issue that's been going on the past 3 or 4 years where they've been tearing down these like motels, and these are like really, I mean, they're really like downscale, like shitty little buildings that
monthly rate.
Probably, in terms of like building standards, probably needed to be torn down, but there are also people who were relying on these to like live and not be on
shelter.
And they've torn them down, and basically all they've done so far with this area is like build like statues and like neon light kind of stuff. So people are pretty upset about that, and a bunch of people are now displaced and don't have like a place to go. So that's an issue.
That is pretty sad to see.
The segue,
especially if it not is there a lot of affordable housing in Reno.
No,
You know,
it's getting pretty
uh,
expensive.
I feel like that's like a problem across the country. But yeah, no,
true.
we don't. And like we have shelters and that kind of stuff, but we definitely need more places for people who are lower income to live.
Yeah.
And because of that, these people are downtown on the streets. And so it's kind of dirty. And I feel like it's gotten dirtier and worse. And maybe it's just because I'm not like young and drunk and walking home at 4 a.m. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, like this seems unsafe. And this is like where
Right.
we hung out.
Yeah. You
Um,
wouldn't want a family there.
it's interesting. Do you want to talk about 4th Street a little bit, because there's a lot of new apartments that don't look like they're low income apartments, but it's also intermixed. And historically, this area is 4th Street historically was like an area for like prostitutes,
Sex workers.
sex workers. Yes, excuse me.
Okay, that's what you mean.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with this first term, but
No, it's
Ladies of the night.
say prostitutes. You're
Yeah.
supposed to say sex workers. You're welcome.
Ladies of the night.
So Amy's our HR actually.
We desperately need one.
Yeah, we desperately need one.
Yeah, 4th Street is weird. There's definitely, and it's interesting because 4th Street's another one of those that goes a really long way from like Reno to Sparks. And there's definitely pockets that they've cleaned up, and there's like down where the depot is, there's like breweries and bars, and then it also goes through downtown. There's the convention centers also on 4th Street. But there's just pockets of it that are just not safe. Like I was talking to Eric about this. Where I live, we're pretty close to downtown. Like we could probably walk to downtown in like 35 minutes, but we
Nice.
never walk
Walking
downtown from
distance.
our house because we have to go down. Yeah, we have to go down a section of 4th Street that's pretty sketchy, and there's homeless people by the train tracks and that kind of stuff. So
Kind of
Yeah,
a similar
I
situation
get the feeling.
to us in San Antonio. We could walk
Yeah.
downtown, but it's not a fun
Rather,
walk. Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, it's not a let your mind wander kind of walk.
no.
I'll wrap it up by saying even with the homeless growing, the population grew in 2022 by 2%.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's not slowing down even during COVID. Does
No.
slow down at all?
We talk about cities that aren't going away. Reno is only getting bigger and bigger. It's a problem that's just getting worse and worse. Reno's not going away. I was looking at like the population trajectory like pretty consistently. I mean, there hasn't been a year that's been less than 1%. A lot of years have been like 2%, even up into like 3% growth. Like the city has been rapidly growing since the entire time our family's been here. And like I said, it's doubled in size pretty much from when we first moved here.
Thanks to the urban family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of like suburbs now, like oh my gosh, like the valleys.
Oh, sure.
And like South Reno, and now like Wingfield Springs and stuff, and Sparks, like these like housing development communities. Very like burby.
I checked with I checked the local Reddit community, of course, for Reno, and it seems like a big issue that they have that they keep bringing up is the non-affordable housing, the kind of like excessive mansion or just luxury style housing that seems to be popping up in a lot of suburbs here.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing also those kind of places like you mentioned, I think you said 4th Street, where there was, makeshift affordable housing that's just getting torn down for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, final thoughts real quick. I just wanted to, this is something that I found on the Reno's Reddit page. I just think it's funny because it looks. Huh?
Reddit.org.
Yeah. And I just think it's funny because it looks like Eric dressed in winter, and then that's also Eric when he's that's Eric in Halloween. But I just thought that was funny because they're both from Reno, and I'm pretty sure you have that same shirt. But yeah, final thoughts. THOTS. I think Reno seems like a fairly livable city. It seems um, it doesn't seem all that expensive, especially for being so close to Sierra. The
Sierra
yeah
Leone.
um, yeah. What would you guys? I think I'm gonna give it a rating of and I overall I enjoyed my short stay there very much. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Um, no, yeah. I'll give it 4 out of 5. Uh, um,
Hmm?
crawlers out. 4 out of 5 floaties. There you
Nice.
go.
Yeah. So my little summation of Reno is it's a beautiful little town, all sorts of like fun outdoorsy stuff to do. You're surrounded like by mountains, and you get snow in the winter. You get nice hot, but it's a dry heat summers. And it's like we have been talking about the population growth, and it is starting to get a little too big. But like when I was like growing up, it was like the perfect size, and it still is like a good size, like perfect size medium city, to where it's
Yeah.
like not hustle and bustle, but there's still like amenities and stuff to do. So there's that going for it. There are issues, right, with a bunch of people coming in. There's kind of like gentrification issues that we've talked about with tearing stuff down and building sort of bland and expensive apartment buildings. Um,
It should
overall,
be
I would.
quickly noted. Sorry, we didn't touch on the architecture, and I just want to quickly note, pretty obviously though, that it's all to me. It seems it's all Las Vegas inspired. It's kind of carried over from
Yeah,
there.
I mean, there's
At
there's
least in
the
downtown.
lights of the casinos, which are
Yeah,
Vegasy.
yeah.
There's what's your favorite building in Reno?
Probably the Silver Legacy.
Ah, my favorite building is the Second Street Church.
Oh, that wasn't fair. You were talking about like the city skyline, and I was thinking the Silver Legacy.
Oh,
I can't think of a good building. Yeah, the Second Street Church is beautiful.
yeah,
Nice.
kind of Spanish inspired architecture.
Oh,
You're
that's
talking about the
sick.
Methodist Church, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what were you going to
Stand
talk more about
nice.
architecture?
No, if you
No?
but do you have
No?
more?
No, just
I mean, we're we're pretty over time.
Oh, okay.
We
yeah.
can't talk too much about architecture, but
I'll give my
Yeah.
final thoughts. Reno, we have 4 seasons, so the weather, in my opinion, is wonderful. We have a beautiful fall, we get snow in the winter, a lovely spring, and then like a hot summer where you can go swimming and do all of those sort of things. Um, and then there's just so much to do around here, like for all walks of life and all different interests. So I love Reno.
Nice.
I can't imagine living anywhere else.
A big sponsor.
do you want to give it a ranking?
You never ranked it.
You took the microphone away before I could. I will give Reno.
Sibling squabble.
I will give eight. I will give Reno 8.5 out of 10 casino kisses.
Wow.
Mhm.
You
8.5.
Well, since we're all using a different scale,
Yeah.
I say 18.5 out of 20.
What? But you have to give it. You have to give.
18.5 out of 20 Tahoes.
Tahoes. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of Tahoes. She has.
Mhm.
She has
Yeah.
a lot.
That's the best ranking out of all of us.
And one of them, I guess, is like short. It's half.
Short.
Oh, 18.5.
18.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Well, that was this has been Reno, Nevada. Thank you to our guest. and
Don't
yeah,
don't
it
forget
seems
to,
like
don't forget to smash the like button on this. You might
Like, subscribe.
hit the
Yeah.
like if you like.
all that stuff.
Yeah,
You're the
it seems
best.
like
What
yeah,
city should we review next?
what city should we review next?
Me?
Comment down in the
Yeah. Oh
comment
yeah.
section
Sure.
of this.
Look at you doing crowd work, Joseph.
Oh,
Comment what city you want to hear from next.
is it only cities that you guys have been to so far? So, like, your crowd, your 12 listeners really have to know you guys.
12,000.
13.
13. Huh? Yeah.
I mean, thanks for having me. This was really fun. And I've really enjoyed listening to you guys. I think I really like your podcast and the whole idea. And you guys have great chemistry, just like Eric and Steve.
Oh, we haven't kissed quite as many times as Steve and I have, but we're getting
So
close.
we've been
We're
told.
reaching that threshold.
All right, thanks again, you guys. Reno, Nevada,
Check
good
it out.
place if you're into those nature type and drinking type cities.
Yeah.
In the Northwest. All right.
All right.
So we'll see you when we see you.
Bye.
Ding ding.